Hello students. So far we have covered two major topics of chapter 2. They are goals of psychological inquiry that we covered in part 1 and steps in conducting scientific research we covered in part 2. Today we are going to take up a new topic and that is nature of psychological data. We will discuss about different types of data. But first let's understand what is data. Data means information. It can be a basic value or a fact. In psychology, we study human behavior, mental processes, and experiences. Have you ever thought how psychologists gather information about the subjects they wish to study? They gather information about them through different sources. They employ different methods and these methods they provide information relating to individuals' overt and covert behavior, their experiences and their mental processes. So data gives us an important input in psychological inquiry. It provides us near approximation of reality and gives us an opportunity to verify or falsify our ideas or notions. We use word datum for singular. Let's know more about the nature of psychological data. Let's first talk about the first point. Data are not independent entities. What it means? Data in itself does not speak about reality, but a researcher makes inferences and draws meaning by placing it in a proper context. So we must mention the physical and social context and how we collect the data, which method we are using, because this influences the nature and the quality of data. Let's understand this with an example. How a person behaves at workplace or in a group or at home. It differs. The ways and means that are used to collect data also affects the quality of data. If a person knows that he is being observed, he may not act in his natural way as compared to when he has no information that an observer is observing his behavior. Let's talk about the second point that says that characteristics of respondents, they also influence the nature and the quality of data. Such characteristics like age of the respondents, their gender, social setting, they all influence data. Let's take an example that you can relate to. A researcher, he wants to study aggressive behavior of players on field. Players, they have no such information that while they are playing their match, they are being observed, whether they are playing fairly or rough. Some may show more rough play, hitting others and aggressive behavior, while others are playing fair. Method used here is observation in natural setting, that is play behavior on field. All players are boys in the age group 17 to 18 years. If they had this information that they were being studied or observed, they would not have displayed their natural or actual behavior. Now let's talk about different types of data or information we collect in psychology. And they are demographic data or information, physical information, physiological information, and psychological information. Now let's talk about them. Demographic information. It deals with the personal information of a person. Here we are talking about his name, age, gender, education, his occupation, his marital status, his number of children, number of siblings, his caste, religion, income, and other things. Another type of information is physical information. It is basically information about ecological conditions. It tells us more about the geographical locations and their features like area, whether it is hilly, desert or forest, or the place where the person is residing, the kind of facilities he is having in his neighborhood, types of houses, transportation and their housing conditions. Next type of data we are going to talk about is physiological data. This data is related to body and it is called biological data such as height, weight, heart rate, blood pressure, level of fatigue, electrical activity of brain, that is measured by EEG, that is electroencephalograph, or the duration of sleep. Now let's talk about another type of data, and that is psychological information. This includes data that is related to psychological functioning of an individual, such as his intelligence, his attitudes, values, emotions, likes and dislikes, motivation, psychological disorders, personality, interest, thought process, and subjective interpretation. Data we collect can be qualitative or quantitative, depending upon the method we use to collect data. Quantitative data provides us information in quantities. That means they provide us information in numbers, scores, or ranks, such as categories like yes and no, they can answer, or in ranks, they tell us the position like birth order or position in the class. Qualitative data are descriptive in nature. They can be observed but not measured. Data are not in the form of numbers. Information can be collected through verbal reports, observation records, field notes, and through personal diaries. So let's do a quick recap. We have discussed about the nature of psychological data. That is, it provides us information about human experiences, behavior, both overt and covert, and mental processes. Data are not independent entities. When we talk about them, we mention the context, method, and the personal characteristics of the individual. Let's do a quick recap of different types of data we have discussed. And they were demographic, that deals with personal information, physical information, that gives us information more about geographical conditions or ecological conditions, physiological, that gives us more information about body or biological data, and psychological data that gives us more information related to our psychological functioning. We also discussed about qualitative and quantitative data. With this, I am going to end here today. We'll bring a new topic for you in my next video. Thanks for watching.